Aloha gardeners. A while back I had one of the viewers ask me, "Hey Bill, will you talk about your peppers you grow in Hawaii?" Well, peppers were kind of small at that time, and so I put it off, but I'm going to honor the suggestion. And so I want to start right here with this cute little guy here growing in my papaya. If there was one pepper on the island of Hawaii that says Hawaii and peppers, it's this guy right here. In fact, the name of this plant is the Hawaiian chili pepper. And it's used locally to make a product that we call chili pepper water here. Now, if you go, say, down in the Gulf of Mexico, you have similar peppers like this. In Louisiana, Capsicum fruticans, the Tabasco. This plant is pretty close to a Tabasco. Again, it's another one of those things. I really don't know where this thing originally came from, but it's highly ornamental. It's really a gorgeous looking thing. It starts off yellow, goes from there to orange, and then goes to red, so it's quite a display. The plant is used for a product similar to a Tabasco sauce, except the Tabasco sauce, they ferment the chilies and they use vinegar and salt. In the Hawaiian chili pepper water, the chilies are not fermented and they use water as the base. And so what this is mostly a little vinegar, a little salt, and then water, just enough vinegar and salt to keep it from spoiling. And then they chop in the chili pepper, they chop in ginger, they chop in garlic. And so garlic, ginger, Hawaiian chili peppers, water, vinegar, and salt. You can find several recipes on the web if you're interested. The thing I like about this is that Tabasco sauce is fine. The Gulf of Mexico sauces that are used there are good, in the oyster bars and stuff, but I'm not that crazy about all the vinegar. And so I prefer this sauce. It doesn't change the flavor of the food much, only makes it spicy. Now, this plant is used in people's gardens around here as an ornamental, and I think that's a nice idea. I unfortunately have given up doing that because peppers in Hawaii are susceptible to whitefly. And so I don't like having the whiteflies around my garden, and so I only grow these things to eat, and that's it. But they are pretty. I have used them in the past as ornaments here, until I got tired of the little whiteflies. This one is pretty much immune to that Chinese fruit fly that gets into the softer peppers. And so this is a winner. It will live for maybe 5-6 years on a good bush, so they're fairly perennial, abundant. Here's another one of the peppers that says Hawaii. This one is called the Hawaiian cocktail pepper. Right here. Now these come in both a yellow and in a red form. I just recently acquired the yellow form. This is another one that's a sweet pepper that seems to be resistant to the fly. Here's another one of my favorite peppers here on the island. This is the bishop's cap. It's a separate species from my other peppers. This is a Capsicum baccatum, and you can tell the difference because the flower corolla has little green dots on it. That's how you tell that that's baccatum. In South America, these are called ahi. They turn a bright red. Mine at the moment are all green because they just got done stripping the plants and made jardinara, which, is so good from this pepper. Yeah, so this is just really a wonderful little thing, and it's mostly resistant to the flies. Yeah. Now the bishop's cap is a pepper that I brought here. It wasn't grown much that I know of here on the island. It's one of my favorites that I brought from California. Now here's another one of my favorite peppers that I brought with me from California, and I brought it from Wisconsin to California, so I started with this pepper, God, easily 40 years ago. This is pepperoncini, or Italian sweet pepper. This is my favorite for making jardinara. Right here, you can see my fly trap is completely loaded with those stupid Chinese fruit flies. And if I didn't have the fly traps, all my peppers would be drilled out. These flies are the main reason that I don't raise too many of the peppers I used to raise in the mainland. Even the jalapeno is attacked by these. I do get a crop off. It's not a real good one here. The flies like jalapenos. The flies adore any pepper that's got a dimple in the top, like a bell pepper. They just get around that thing and lay eggs in there. And again, it is possible to raise bell peppers here. For me, it's not worth it. Here are some 3-year-old habanero bushes. The habanero, it seems to be quite hardy around here. I see it's blooming here. We have fruit on, we have green fruit on. These things, massive wood underneath. Plant seems to do exceedingly well around here. It gets white flies like most other peppers, but you can see we got quite a crop of green on here. Only problem with it, it's hot. Recently I started growing a mild form of habanero called habanada. We'll see if it holds up as well as the spicy form. These plants are Capsicum chinense, and the chinense seem to hold up better around here to those flies. They still get them, but it doesn't put the plants down, and they live quite a while. Here in the tub, I've got some Hawaiian cocktail peppers. They produce fruit like this. These are what I'd call a cheese pepper. It looks like little pumpkins. They're sweet. They're very delicious. They have an excellent aroma, so it's a very interesting pepper. I tend to use this one more so than I would like the same way I use a bell pepper here. Again, the plant is very, very resistant to problems. Local race, I found it at the farmer's market. A guy was selling the peppers. So yesterday I was out picking, and I came up with some of the Hawaiian cocktail peppers here. I came up with a whole bunch of the Bishop's Cap chilies. And I also came up with some red pepperoncini. This thing is really sweet when it's red. Those are my main chili peppers at the very moment. I do have, as I said, the sweet habanada, a sweet habanero in the garden. Still too young to tell what's going to do. It's got flowers on it, so it's promising. It's working so far. As I come across other varieties of chilies, I begin to add them. Recently, I had friends bring me the yellow race of this Hawaiian cocktail pepper. Got some of those started. They appear to be resistant to the flies too, so it's all good news. Aloha. Y'all hang loose. Happy gardening, and hey, don't eat too many chili peppers.